give you the condensed. Apologies about it. Let's start with the CSI again. Right, here we go. Currency dashboard. Right, start with the CSI. This is the starting point because it disassembles this market, this complex market, into the building blocks. Think of it building a house, and here you are, you've got the bricks. So the bricks are the currency. This is the place to start. Multiple time frames, and whether you're looking for overbought, oversold, reversals, you can see here the euro starting to reverse. It's up into overbought. Got the yen down here and oversold. The Aussie, the dollar here, that's flip-flopping around. That's in oversold, oversold, oversold. You've got the Aussie, which is still continuing to climb very strongly. New Zealand started to roll. And obviously what you're looking for here is particularly with currencies which tend to move together, such as the commodity currencies, if one starts to move, then potentially it has the opportunity to pull the others with it. So you've got the Aussie up here, but you've got New Zealand here, and you've got the CAD here as well. So there's a little bit of weakness coming in, but the Aussie is still strong for the time being. This is the starting point. As I say, it breaks everything down into the individual components of the currencies, and it gives you a heads up as to where to go and look. Are you looking at a reversal opportunity? Are you looking at a strong trending opportunity where a currency is rising very strongly or falling very strongly, and you're looking for the counter currency to build an opportunity for your trading? Then you move to the currency matrix, which is the second one. And what the matrix does, I've got these two running on Aussie dollar, and I've got these two running on Aussie yen. For no particular reason other than those the charts I chose. You can put this on any particular chart. But what you're looking for here is you're looking at, first of all, you're looking at the ranking ladder, and you're looking at sentiment towards the currency. And here you can see I've isolated this out on Aussie. You can see that the sentiment towards Aussie, certainly on a 3-minute time frame, is universal right now. Down at the bottom, you've got these two. You've got pretty much a perfect array in terms of 3-minute. Now you can also start to see some of that weakness coming on the chart itself. As I say, this is on Aussie dollar, this is on Aussie yen. In terms of the numbers, what you're looking for, and as Anna mentioned way back, is that we've developed on TradeStation, we will port this across onto this particular indicator, is a metric that gives you the average, and it also gives you the high of the session and the low of the session as well. So it'll give you an instant heads up as to whether this number you're seeing here is high, medium, or low, and therefore the expectation of whether we've got some more travel in the particular matrix, or whether we're actually hitting potentially a high point, in other words, a potential reversal point. The other aspect of the matrix is to look at the numerical values themselves in terms of the positive and the negative. If they are out of agreement, in other words, you've got a very high number up here and a lower number down here, what that's telling you is that this is very bullish at the market. The market has a much more bullish sentiment than it does a bearish sentiment. So the weight of expectation is much more bullish. So in terms of to put that into context, if you like, the selling pressure in the Euro Aussie is less strong in terms of the trend development, as opposed to the strength of trend that has been building in the Aussie yen, because the numbers are not in disagreement, but they are not aligned with one another. So it's just giving you a sense. Now, when that changes, what will change in terms of numerical values is there'll be a larger number down at the bottom and a reduction in the numerical value up here. So it's always something to be aware of, to look at the extremes, always looking for the extremes to give you a sense of what is going on in terms of the bullish and bearish sentiment in the market, and how that is likely to be reflected in terms of the trends that are developing that are associated with that particular sentiment that's prevalent. You then go on to the currency array. If I can find it, there we go. This is the third one. And what I've isolated out here is the yen, because the yen is the easiest to demonstrate, because it's the counter currency. What the currency array gives you is strength of trend. It gives you a straight visual. Excuse me for a moment. I'll remember to switch my microphone back on this time. What the array gives you is a strength of trend. Visually, the steepness of the line tells you instantly whether the pair you're considering or the pair you're in is actually moving in the direction you want it to. And the beauty of the indicator is that as you watch it, you will actually see this start to stretch. If you're in one of these and you start to see this ticking up as the pound yen is doing, you can see it flicking around here, but it's generally moving upwards, as indeed as this one, as indeed as this one. They're all ticking up. So if you're trading one of these, or in fact, if you're in the Aussie yen for the time being, what that's telling you is this is all pushing higher all the time. You've got it over here on the ranking ladder. Ideally, you want to see these all stacking up at the top. You want to see these on 5 minutes start to push higher, because if this trend is developing strongly, it'll ripple right the way through across to the 10-minute. The Aussie yen might jump up here to replace the Aussie dollar. You know, it's moving strongly here, but it might jump up to replace the Aussie dollar in due course. And you want to see all these guys pushing up to the top of the ladder. So it gives you that instant visual. It's this sweeping effect that you see. It's like a windscreen wiper on a car. You'll see it sweeping up to the top, and then of course the sentiment changes and the reversal takes effect, which ultimately it always does and will. You'll see them all start to sweep down to the bottom. But as they move through the midpoint here, you know, we've got all the sentiment is above the midpoint line, if you like, and it's also giving that very strong idea of strength of trend. Finally, over here on the ranking ladder alongside it, you've got the overbought and oversold conditions. This gives you a heads up in terms of currency pair as opposed to currencies moving to overbought, oversold. This gives you currency pairs which are moving to that condition. And when they align in terms of the brighter colors without the brackets on, that's when they've potentially arrived at that condition. And obviously it's then down to you to go and look at the chart to assess it from a VPA perspective, to look at the other indicators. You go back to your CSI. Where are my currencies individually in terms of overbought, oversold? Is this looking like a reversal opportunity? And then you judge accordingly. Finally, it's down onto the heat map, which you should have up at all times anyway. And as I explained earlier on, it's giving you all the information you need condensed on one chart, one matrix. It tells you what is going on in terms of sentiment. You can see here, this is the 1 minute for the Aussie yen. Now you can see there's a little bit of bearish sentiment coming into the chart. So we're expecting to see a little bit of a pullback. You can see it on the New Zealand yen. You're starting to see it develop on the CAD yen. Hasn't on the Euro yen yet, but it is on the dollar yen, the pound yen, a little bit bearish there, and the Swiss yen not going red yet. But it's a little bit like, it's a political swingometer, if you will, of sentiment. You know, what is shifting here? Now, if this is going to take hold in any great shape, then what will happen, obviously, is these numbers here will gradually start to fall, and ultimately they will go red, because when it goes to the fulcrum of 0, that cell will then change to red. So it's just a straight visual in terms of intraday perspective on sentiment moving through the charts without having to have all 250 odd, however many there are, even more on Ninja up at the simultaneously. And just to reiterate, the ranking ladder down here then takes this data and weights it according to the time. So this ranking of this spot 26 of Aussie yen is not going to move in the next couple of minutes, but ultimately through the day, it may well do. It'll maybe move up a spot or two. And that's the sort of speed at which they move. So from a perspective of trading, if I just put them all on again, there we go. What we're seeing now from a trading perspective, we've got the pound Aussie up here, we've got the Aussie Swiss at the bottom. You know, we've got some decent pairs here, which we might look at reversal opportunities. So we might be thinking, okay, well, maybe it's trying to sell the pound Aussie, maybe it's trying to buy the Aussie Swiss, and those trends will develop over days. They will not develop over minutes. They might start to develop over a few hours intraday, maybe change a spot or two. But for a longer term perspective, in picking up that trend, that's going to be over a daily period. So we've rattled on for a long time, got way over time. I hope that's helped to clarify the 4 pairs of the dashboard. I can hear Anna clacking away. So let's just wrap it up there. Just very quickly before we go, just pull this up. This is where you can find all the books. You can keep up to date with the posts that Anna writes pretty much every day, not every day, but pretty much. This was on gold, and you know, we were talking about the bullish sentiment on gold. I think it was trading at 1664 yesterday, and we said it was going up to 17, which it duly has done, a bit quicker than we expected, but there we go. You can find all the books up here. They're all up on Amazon. In terms of the Forex education program, you can find the details at quantumtradingeducation.com. We believe it's the gold standard. It's complete in the sense that not only do you get all the education, over 200 hours of videos, podcasts, there's 13 PDF downloads, there's the mechanics of trading, there's the 5 key modules here: psychology, fundamental, relational, technical, and mechanics of trading module. And then there's a whole raft of information down here in terms of topic webinars, pulling it all together, how to use the indicators, VPA chart examples, and the webinar library. It's a massive, massive and complex program which will help you to guide you through the Forex world. And of course, it includes all the trading tools and indicators, whether for MT4 to MT5, NinjaTrader, TradeStation will be available here soon as well. And finally, in terms of the indicators, you can find them all here at quantumtrading.com. MT45, NinjaTrader, TradingView, and TradeStation coming along shortly. TradeStation, we're working on 2 platforms at the moment. One is the TradeStation Global, which is driven by Interactive Brokers. So if you have an Interactive Brokers account, you can hook it straight through to TradeStation. It's a fantastic combination, allows you to trade every single market around the world through the power of IB and the dynamic platform which TradeStation is. It's just a superb combination. So we're working on that. And we're also working on TradeStation Securities version, which will run on version 10, which you may or may not be familiar with. But again, it's a fantastic platform. It really is something with a radar screen, which is just so powerful on that particular platform. There we are. I'm done. Thank you so much for coming along today. Apologies for having the audio off there in that section, but we'll redo that bit for you so you get a clean version out. If you have any questions for us, always happy to answer them. Drop them to myself, David, at quantumtrading.com, or if you want to ask Anna anything, Anna at annacooling.com. Are we all done on the questions? Yep, fantastic. Thanks so much, and we will run. Enjoy the rest of the trading day. It's been great so far. Sure, there's more to come. And obviously, we wish Boris well and hope that he recovers soon, which is worrying, but we hope he and his family will make good through these traumatic times that we're all living through. So stay safe, everyone. Look after your families. Hope you're all well, and we will see you again next time for Forex, and we're back on Thursday for the US market. So see you soon, and bye for now.